Hello YouTube. Just wanted to give a quick talk about Apple, their iPhones, and I guess the trouble they're facing now in China with their costs of their phone going up, the possible trade issue, and also just people not getting updates for their hardware and as often anymore. So I just want to show you, this is an iPhone 4S, this is an iPhone 5C, and this is an iPhone 6. There's also an iPhone 8, which we have, but it's being used right now, so I didn't put it here. But it very much looks like this. And often when we put our phones down, we can't tell the difference between the iPhone 6 and the 8 upon just a quick glance. Of course, the iPhone 8 has a better display, and there's some other features that are improved, but I'm just showing you these three models of phones were basically hand-me-downs because people who are buying iPhones or into the iPhone ecosystem tend to want to update very quickly in that cycle. Yet I still use all of these phones, and in fact I'm filming this video right now with another iPhone 5C, and I just want to show you the phones really quickly as far as why I think the trend to update the hardware isn't going as fast. Apple built some good phones. Apart from some battery issues, which you can replace. I've replaced and opened these phones up because there are kits to get in. They're quite straightforward. If you can update the batteries on these phones, they can be running quite a bit, and the iOS version on these tends to stay pretty up to date. Obviously the 4S no longer gets updated, but I can go higher on the 5C and the 6 here. Now let me just, I'm gonna flip them over and just show you the screens in a minute. The camera layouts are very similar. You can see there's the same sort of look. Okay, the newer iPhones obviously have better cameras. I think that's one of the things. And obviously the touch sensor for the finger unlocking on the newer iPhones, another feature that people want to update. You'll notice that the older 4S had the old style plug adapter. Okay, no longer being used, and now we're into lightning for the last generations. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Okay, now as far as the screens go, I'll just bring you a quick look here at the Retina display wiki, and let's go up here and look at this table. You'll notice in this table we have the model number, marketing time, screen size, and resolution, and most importantly the PPI, which is right here, is 326. And you'll see that the 4S, the 5C, and the 6, and even the 7 and the 8 all are in this PPI of 326. In fact, it doesn't get much better until you start getting to these plus versions, which go up to 401, and then the latest phones like the iPhone XS and so on are pretty high, up to 458. But every phone that you see here that I have in front of me basically has the same PPI. What differs is the fact that there's a larger screen, and therefore it tends to look nicer. So this is, right now you're looking at the 4S, okay, and I'm gonna just bring up my other phone. Give me 1 second. Here is the 5C, okay, and you can see that the display is a bit bigger. So you had 4 icons by 4 there. Here we have 4 by 5. Sorry, the lighting in here is a bit... and then I'm going to just bring up the last phone here in a second. And I'll try to keep these screens activated so that they're not powering off the display. Here's the last phone. And this happens to be showing 4 by 6. Okay? So 4 by 4, 4 by 5, 4 by 6 as far as the phones go. And you can obviously get a better, there's higher resolution on this phone, but the PPI is the same. It's the same number of pixels per inch. So when you use these phones, as far as what you see, depending on how close you have it to your face, or even if you use one of those VR goggles, the dots will be visible the same. But obviously, you'll see more pixels here. It'll look like a nicer image, and you can also hold the screen further away from you. So in that sense, it will look clearer. But these phones are 4 generations, so to speak, of phones. The 4S, 5C, and 6. There's 7, 8 came out a little bit later, and then all of them are still functioning quite well. And I think the reason I have these phones is because they are hand-me-downs for people who have updated, but I don't think you need to update your phone that often anymore. Apple's done very well at creating a pretty solid product that can last, in the existing, with all the existing apps for quite a long time. So unless you need the most cutting edge, features, I don't see any reason to update that often anymore. And of course, these phones make a serious update. I mean, going from a tiny screen like this, a tiny screen like this to a bigger screen like this, and then to an even bigger screen like this, was a nice advantage. But I don't think it's necessary to, as far as sizing goes, to go much further. This, for example, is my BlackBerry phone, okay, and it essentially is about the size of the iPhone, okay. So you can see that even years before the iPhone came out, a lot of the other phones out there, Android phones and such, already had pretty big screens. It's just that iPhone was still quite small. Anyway, there you have it, just a quick look at some phones, and I think some slowdown is expected, perhaps with the entire cell phone market, and especially Apple, which has kind of made a business out of releasing a phone every year and expecting people to keep updating, forever. With the increased costs of their phones, and the way the world is working today, economies and so on, I just don't think we need to upgrade all the time unless there's a killer app that requires some kind of future improvement in processor speed or something. I just don't see why people would keep updating so fast. Maybe they'll hang on to their phones 3 years, 4 years even, instead of every 2. Unless things break, which is a reason to update, then I can understand why. But otherwise, I just don't expect things to update as fast. If you have any ideas, or share it to comment, have any other theories as to where the future trend for phones is going, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in this video, and hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again. Please subscribe and share and give it a thumbs up. Okay, be well. Thank you.